To get married, you need food, you need the venue. Rentals aren't necessarily on everybody's plan or part of everybody's budget, and that's okay. But what I love about rentals is that they inject a lot of magic into your design and a lot of elevation to your overall guest experience and to your pictures, which we all know is what you get to keep forever. So while rentals may not be crucial, they can play a very important role.
We're discovering all things wedding, from Will You Marry Me to You May Kiss the Bride. I'm your host, Andrea. Welcome to the Bridal Club. Welcome to another episode of Bridal Club. Now, the beauty of having an event planner, a luxury event planner, is that, first of all, they do everything and you don't have to get involved if you don't want to, which obviously was my case. The second reason is that they have a whole library of vendors, of top-notch vendors that they use constantly, because not only they're the best, but they trust them. Now, we're here at Party Dallas, where basically is like interior designing for your wedding. If you look super confused, I don't blame you. I hope that you are able to go to YouTube and actually see everything behind the scenes. But if you can't, I'm going to describe basically a photo that you would see on Instagram. Basically, you're going to see a photo of stunning decor. You're going to see beautiful pillows, a piece of furniture, and it's going to look like a restaurant or a luxury hotel. Now, with that said, let's welcome Liz Curlin to this episode. Hi, Liz. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. Why don't you tell our audience who you are and what Party Dallas is?
So I am the operations director at Party Dallas Rentals. We launched in 2019. We've been down doing this for about 5 years. We have our sister company, which is Todd Events, which is the planning and design services, and then Avant Garden, which is our floral sister company. So Party Dallas Rentals was a vision of Todd Fiscus, where we are trying to be a resource in a planner or designer's toolbox. So we love interior design. We love creative outlet. We offer more than just furniture rentals. Like she said, we also offer pillows and accessories and candles and accents. We even go farther than that with draping, with lovely draping, and some of our more specialty prop items. Even though we launched in 2019 and only we've been doing this for 5 years, we come with a lot of experience and a lot of background knowledge, which helps us, again, be a really great tool for planners and designers that we work with.
I love that. Tell me a little bit more about what it's like to work with y'all. So just pretend that I don't have a planner and I do have a theme. How do I come to you?
Sure. Our process varies. We really try to, because again, we do work with a lot of vendors who are already kind of on a cycle where we work with a lot of planners and designers. And so, but we also sometimes work directly with the client, with a bride or with somebody who's hosting their own party. That said, we actually don't have a very strict process because we like to work within everybody's workflow and really see what works best for them. We also have so many different clients, some who want to be heavily involved in the design process and they want to come in and they want to touch and feel everything. And we have just as much fun with that as we do when somebody picks up the phone and says, here's my mood board, here's the layout, can you drop some things in here? And so we are happy to work either way. You're welcome to just call and say, here's what I want, here's what I need, and then we will work with you in the way that you want to work. So we have a lot who come in, like I said, we have a lot who come into our showroom. We also have a lot who like to do this over the phone and email, and we're happy to work either way.
And I love it because a lot of people don't have that interior design eye, and just telling you like, hey, this is kind of like my mood board, as you said, or my theme, or just bringing maybe something that you really like. So for instance, for my own wedding, as you know, everything was black. I was actually a little bit concerned a little bit before the wedding that everything was going to be so black.
Sure.
Because yes, I love it, but that's very extreme. However, we wanted the florals to be kind of like the center of attention because of what I do, of course.
Sure.
Now, as I said, I didn't have the opportunity to meet with you guys or like go through all of this, which I kind of wish I did. Tell me more about my wedding and what kind of rentals we did.
Right. And your process is a perfect example of it being a little different. We didn't meet with you in a showroom. And so you actually hired Social Llama as your planner and designer, and then they worked with Avant Garden on the floral side. And so by the time it got to us, they made our job really easy by just kind of placing the order and saying, here are the elements we need. I remember looking at that order and seeing a lot of black drape, a lot of black tables, a lot of black chairs. I was like, okay, here we go. And I was so stunned by your photos. You can't judge a design by just a rental order. And so it was funny because, looking at it, you think it's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much black. But it was absolutely not. The florals were stunning. The tent was stunning. your wedding party attire. Just every detail was so complimentary that it just felt like one of the more soft romantic designs I've seen in a while. I really mean that when I say your wedding was really stunning. And I loved that our black rentals could give you a really great palette to bounce all of those really soft aspects from.
Yeah, I remember calling Macy, or no, I texted Macy, I think it was like a month or two before, and I was like, I'm like thinking too much. I don't know about like the doing all the black. I don't want it to look like gothic, And she's like, who's talking to you? Who's putting that in your head? I'm like, just me, I'm watching the series Wednesday Addams. And I'm like, I do not want it to look like. She's like, trust me, the florals is gonna, and it's your sister company, as you mentioned, which we use for the wedding. If you have not listened to that episode, please go to season 1. It's amazing. Okay, so tell me more of the misconceptions of working with you.
There's kind of two common ones that I'd like to highlight, which is there's the one that's really unique to us is because we have luxury offerings and because we have a really skilled team and all this experience that I'm talking about. A lot of planners and designers and brides think that in order to work with us, you have to hit a really high minimum or that you have to use us for everything.
Yeah.
And that's not really true. We love to be a big part of it, of course, but we also don't mind being a small part of it. And sometimes that means getting a few bars from us, but then getting your lounge furniture from somewhere else. And that creates a really unique event that we're really happy to be a part of. And so we want you to play and we want you to move things around and try a bunch of different things. And so I really encourage people to reach out because our minimums are very low, especially when it's not really during a busy time. We usually try to make anything work. People, again, think that, oh, I have to get everything from you, or, oh, you probably have some really high number that I have to reach in rentals. And that's actually not really true most of the time.
And I love that you said that. And it's basically what Mariah with Avant Garden said as well. Like, you are a luxury brand who serves everyone and caters to everyone, basically. And yes, I don't disagree. You go to your Instagram and the first thing that a common person like me would think is like, oh my gosh, I can't afford them,
So our standard minimum delivery in kind of local Dallas radius is about $1,500 in rentals. Awesome. And so, I mean, that's a couple of bar facades, a few sofas. It's very accessible. If it's during the week or if it's really nearby, sometimes we'll waive that minimum. Again, we're happy to work with your budget and happy to work with what your needs are.
I think we sent a question and it said, why do you think rentals are necessary? And you were like, well, I don't think they're necessary. What did you say?
And I kind of laughed because I was like, they're really not crucial. To get married, yes, you need a space. You need the food. You need the venue. There's those kind of actual crucial aspects. Rentals aren't necessarily on everybody's plan or part of everybody's budget, and that's okay. What I love about rentals is that they inject a lot of magic into your design and a lot of elevation to your overall guest experience and to your pictures, which we all know is what you get to keep forever. So while rentals may not be crucial, they can play a very important role. It's your wedding day or it's a special event, and usually there's a lot of emotion behind it, and so why not have fun with what you put in the space to give you the look and feel that you're going for.
And I think and as you said, it may not be crucial, as in like it's not a necessarily
right, it's not a necessity,
exactly, but it is crucial to make it look stunning.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
honestly, if you go to their Instagram, you'll see what we're talking about. It's amazing. So tell me a little bit more about trends that you're seeing lately.
Obviously see the natural trends that we see in designs. A lot of times what you see in a lot of interior design magazines and on Pinterest, what people are doing in their homes usually translates into what they're doing in their weddings and what they're doing into their special events. So, I mean, won't really dive too much deep into all of that, but the trend that I'm seeing just with more like the emotion and the personality behind the design process is that in the last 8 years, I'm seeing a lot more brides and grooms and their family members wanting to come in and wanting to explore and discuss and be part, and not just kind of pass the design off to their planner, the designer. Instead, they want to be a big part of it. They want to sit at the table too, which we really love, because then they show us their inspiration pictures, and then they show us these really unique elements, because at the end of the day, it is their wedding, it's not mine. And so I want to help them find things that we have that play really well with some of these ideas and these visions they have.
As I said before, I kind of like wish I had been more involved, but here we are. So I'm so lucky to, have this experience with you for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for grooms and brides who are starting off and kind of like don't know where to start exactly?
Sit down with each other and obviously talk about what's most important to you and what are your kind of your top 3 must-have. Usually that translates then into who's the first vendor you're going to reach out to. Highly recommend getting a planner very first.
Yes,
that's
absolutely
definitely number 1.
Yeah.
And then from there, and if you're not sure which planner, if you don't already know which planner you're wanting to go with, definitely go to their Instagram. Look at their pictures. Look at their style. There's so many planners who sometimes kind of have a general aesthetic and design and style that they work with. There's other planners who will work with a lot of different styles and designs. And so definitely look through their Instagram. You'll get a lot of great feedback there as to, is this somebody who kind of falls in line with what your vision is or not, especially if design and the look of the space is so important to you. I definitely think you need the visuals. That is where I would start.
Sure. I myself recommend that 100%. Awesome.
Yep. Let them help you with the vendors because as I mentioned before, while we do work with brides and sometimes clients directly, I would say majority of the time we're working with planners and designers on a repeat basis. They know who can provide what you're looking for. And so they're a really great resource to you, especially as you're starting out.
Do like cater to everyone in the United States, correct?
Yes, we do travel. So we are Party Dallas, but we go beyond Dallas. So if a truck can get there, we can get there.
Do you have anything else that you want to say to our audience?
So in addition to our rentals, we also offer something that we call our Party Pro services. So it can be what you need before the event, such as diagram sketching or furniture selection, design boards, really anything that you need leading up to the event, but it's also on-site production support. So you can add a Party Pro to come on site, help direct where everything goes, make decisions based on, does that actually look good there, or should we move it over here a little bit? So that's an extra support we like to add for our planners and designers because they can't necessarily always be in 2 places at once. And so we like to jump in and help as needed. So that's one of our extra services you can ask us for.
I will say that a lot of things change throughout the planning process. What happens if you were one of the first that I booked and then the aesthetic of the wedding changed a little bit? Is that something that I can still change my order prior to the wedding?
Absolutely. We are extremely flexible. So we allow changes up until 7 days before your event.
Amazing.
So we are more than happy to do a complete 180 as needed. Again, like I said earlier, really confirming with us is less about the items and more about the availability for the labor to produce your event.
Okay, so definitely book you as soon as I know that I want to work with you. And then don't worry too much about the overall look until the end.
Right. And like she said, the design does change so often that just throwing a few things on there is great for starters, but then I would not recommend going into the fine details such as the candles and the accessories and some of those littler pieces until you're closer to the mark.
Which we actually had chandeliers which we did not use, and then we threw some pillows at the very, very end. I think it was a week prior to the wedding or something like that, just so to add a little bit more contrast to the black on black on black. So that's perfect to know.
Because sometimes guest count also affects your layout and affects how you're able to set things up. And so we understand that you're not usually making those decisions until about the month of. So we're flexible to work with. Absolutely.
Perfect. So how can people connect with you?
So you can call our showroom. You can set up an appointment. You're happy to walk in as well. Our showroom is open Monday through Friday from 10 to 4. You can reach out to us through Instagram, through direct message. We also have a website that has an email contact form. Or you can pick up the phone, give us a call. We can go through your order over the phone, or you're more than welcome to walk in. We really just like to work with anybody the way that they like to be worked with.
Awesome. And again, it's partydallas.com.
Yes, partydallas.com. And then our Instagram is Party Dallas Rentals.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. This is lovely. I kind of want to just move in here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Learn about all things wedding straight from the experts. Be sure to like and subscribe to Bridal Club.